What a perfect evening for baseball in San Luis Obispo, California. Welcome to the Central Coast and welcome to Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network. A historic event taking place in the CCL this evening as the Lincoln Potters are in town for the first time in these two storied franchises' histories. The Blues went up to Lincoln last season, played the Potters in a 3-game opening series. That opened the Blues season last year, and then they went back up to Lincoln for a second time to play in the CCL State Playoffs. This year, the playoffs will be here in SLO, and the Potters are making their first ever trip to Sinsheimer Stadium to play the Blues in a 2-game series tonight, Friday and Saturday evening. It's game 29 of this Blues season, the 76th in San Luis Obispo's history. The Blues host the Potters tonight in game 29 of their season. Only 2 meetings between these two teams, both tonight and tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Excited to bring you a series that promises to deliver. 2 solid teams, 2 storied franchises, great organizations in the CCL. Just so happy to have the Potters in town as we made the trip up to historic McBean Stadium in Lincoln last year. Happy to have the Potters come down to Sinsheimer and celebrate a good old-fashioned CCL South and CCL North matchup. I'll step aside momentarily for the national anthem. And with that, we're ready to bring you first pitch and starting lineups. Ryan Baum is taking the mound for the Blues. And the senior out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is going to get his second start of the season. He's been one of the better arms the Blues have had. They can only pitch Ryan about every 6-7 days, and he's set for his second start as a Blue. He'll face the Lincoln Potters, who come in with their record of 20-13, their third place in the North, 8-10 in conference play. They're 6-4 in their last 10, and they are 4-8 away from historic McBean Stadium, and we welcome them into Sinsheimer Stadium for the first time in these two organizations' storied histories. And Ryan Baum is going to face off against a Potters lineup that looks like this. Led by Ryan Stevens, Lincoln sends J.T. Walden to the leadoff spot. He's the first baseman. Jeffrey David is the center fielder. He'll bat second, followed by Chase Stanky, who is doing the catching, and he'll bat third. Followed by Trey Furry, third baseman. Reese Regatz is the DH, batting fifth. Garen Caulfield is the second baseman. Trevor Tishenkel is in left. He'll bat seventh. Nolan McCarthy's in right. Chase Weisenborn is the shortstop. He bats ninth. And our starting lineups today are brought to you by Injectors Direct, one of the many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. Injectors Direct. At Injectors Direct, it is not only our job to provide customers with the best experience possible, it is our purpose. We appreciate them sponsoring our starting lineups today. That's how the Potters look, and Baum is getting ready for first pitch. With that, we'll bring you inside the press box. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ebrahim. Just so thrilled to have the Potters in town for the first time ever. Blues made their first ever trip up to Lincoln last summer. They did it twice. Opened their season with a 3-game series against the Potters, won all 3 games, and the Blues would go on to make the CCL State Playoffs, hosted in Lincoln. So these two teams doing battle again. Promises to be a good matchup. We'll have tonight's game first pitch coming up in a few seconds. Tomorrow's game first pitch coming shortly after 4 o'clock. Happy to have you along with us. Walden stands in. Baum ready for his second start. The Lincoln Potters and the San Luis Obispo Blues. This should be fun. Walden stands in, the Potters' first baseman. Ryan Baum, 1-0 record with a 0 ERA. Starts out with ball 1, and we are underway. For Ryan, 12 innings pitched this season. He struck out 13 batters in those innings, has only walked 2. Has only given up 5 hits. 1-0 pitch. That's strike 1. Got him swinging outside. Baum, this is his 6th appearance on the season. Mentioned his second start. 1-0 record, 0 ERA. One on its way. Got the call in the corner, 1-2. Baum's first start of the season, his last outing was on the 29th against the Riptide, a 3-0 loss for the Blues. Baum went 4 full, didn't give up a run, hasn't given up a run all season. Only 1 hit. Faced 14 batters, that was the second most he faced this season, and he starts his day out with a strikeout. Gets Walden swinging. First K for Baum, and there's 1 out in the top of the first. One out for Jeffrey David, the Potters center fielder, batting second. And the righty Baum starts him out with strike 1. David with the average 303 coming into the ball game tonight. That's outside. For the Potters, their first trip to Sinsheimer. Happy to have them. They're coming off of a non-conference loss to the West Coast Kings. Final 9-5 in that one. 1-1 pitch. That's flared out to center field, and that's going to drop. Single for David. He's aboard with 1 out. Only the 6th hit given up from Baum this season in his 6th appearance. Chase Stanky now doing the catching and batting third for the Potters. So the Potters get the first base runner of the ball game. It's a single from David. He's aboard. Stanky stands in. Baum out of the stretch, comes home quickly with ball 1. Potters 20-13 overall this season. They've been excellent in July. The 5 runs scored against the Kings, that was their lowest total in the month of July. Time taken here. Potters had an excellent season last year, 36-23, going on to host the CCL State Playoffs. It was the first ever tournament of its kind featuring an elimination bracket. Swing and a miss, strike 1. There was a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. There were 2 ways to make it to that championship game. Potters lost to the Saints in their opening game. They went into the loser's bracket, met the Conejo Oaks, who the Blues actually beat in their first round of the state playoffs. So the Oaks eventually ended the Potters' excellent season last year. 1-1 pitch. 1-2. These two teams met 3 times in the regular season. Opening 3 games for the Blues were at McBean Stadium. They won all 3. Last year's team really got to know each other to start the season in Lincoln and then to eventually finish it, losing in the championship game to the Prune Packers. 1-2 pitch with a runner taken off. Throw into second as David decided with his jump to eventually head back to first. He did not commit to the steal. Chase Gallegos is doing the catching tonight for the Blues. He popped out of his stance, gunned one down to Maciel, who was covering second base, and David is still safe at first, and the count is 2-2. Chance for hot sauce. Good crowd on hand for the Blues. 2-2 pitch. That's laced and gets by Maciel at short. Hard liner is going to be a single for Stanky. Back-to-back singles, and there's 2 on and 1 out. Trey Furry now. Cleanup hitting third baseman for the Potters. Lincoln trying to do some early damage here. Runners on first and second. David and Stanky, single back-to-back. And Baum starts Furry out with ball 1, a breaking ball that misses in the dirt. Well, Baum's been efficient. Talking with pitching coach for the Blues, Ed Gravel, mentions that Baum has a true command of the strike zone. We told you his strikeout to walk ratio is excellent. Hasn't been hit much. He's already given up more hits in this outing than he did in his last start when he went 4 full. 1-0 pitch on its way. That's in there for a strike. That'll even the count. Stanky, a high average, 373 coming into tonight. Returning Potter. Takes a breaking ball in the dirt, 2-1 now. Doing the catching tonight. He's behind Walden, who struck out to begin the ball game. Second behind him in average, and he's got 21 less at-bats. The 2-1, that is grounded. McGuire over at second makes a nice diving play to get the out at first. Looked like that might get by him for a second. Everyone's taking 90 feet on the ground out, but now there's 2 outs. And Furry goes 4-3. Second and third for the Potters, threatening to score early in the first. That's something we've seen Blues opponents really take advantage of. That's getting an early lead on a pitching staff for the Blues that has seen their staff ERA decrease since about halfway into the season, halfway into June, I should say. But plating early runs against the starter, a key for any opponent playing the Blues. That misses for ball 1. It's Reese Regatz now. DH batting 5th. The 1-0, that's in there for a strike. Baum's pitch count going to be held pretty low. Would be surprised if Ryan goes more than 3 full innings. As much as the Blues would love to see him go as long as he can. With no leash on the starter, but Baum is nursing a sore arm. He's coming off of injury. That's fouled back for strike 2. And this coaching staff just wants to keep their eye on him. They've been in constant conversation with Baum about how his arm's feeling, how long he thinks he can go. Said he was good to start and good to give him 3 full. Possibly more if the pitch count is held in check. But with runners on second and third, the goal now to get Regatz out and put up a 0 in the first. Baum's 1-2 pitch. That's sent out to left, and that'll be caught by Villegas. Inning over. To the bottom of the first we go. Baum does indeed put up that 0. Works around back-to-back singles from David and Stanky. Strikes out Walden. Gets Furry to ground out and sends Regatz back to the dugout after he flies out to left. No score after a half. Blues are coming to the plate. San Luis Obispo Blues, 11-17 on the season. The month of July has not yet been kind to the Blues. They're 7-11 in the South. That's last place. They've suffered 3 straight losses for the second time this season, and they're trying to bounce back and avoid a season-long 4-game losing streak. Let's show you how the Blues line up today, led by Bob Miller in his second season. Again, our starting lineup say brought to you by Injectors Direct, and the Blues will send Aiden Anderson back into the leadoff spot. He'll play center field, and he's done a phenomenal job at both hitting leadoff, which is a hole that the Blues have needed to fill, along with playing center field. Anderson has been excellent. C.J. Maciel bats second, he mans shortstop. His natural position. Colin Villegas is batting third. He's the left fielder who made the catch to end the first. E.J. Kreutzmann's the DH. He bats cleanup, followed by Zach Tolia, first baseman out of Utah. Tate Samuelson bats sixth and mans third base. Garrett Brooks is the right fielder. Chase Gallegos does the catching. And Connor McGuire, who made a nice play to get an out at second, bats ninth. Ryan Baum pitching, of course, and our starting lineup is brought to you by Injectors Direct, where it is not only their job to provide customers with the best experience, it's their purpose. No score after half an inning, and we're headed to the bottom of the first. And the Potters are sending Craig Schmitz, a sophomore at Minnow State. Local kid out of Lincoln. He's getting the start. Right-hander. Going to face Anderson, Maciel, and Villegas in the bottom of the first. Warms now, and the Potters in their bright orange road unis with gray pants. Maybe lettering and trim. Blues were stifled by a riptide pitching staff that was really a wacky game that the Blues are coming off of. And quick turnaround as they went 13 innings last night in an eventual 5-2 loss to the Orange County Riptide. So they've lost now 2 of the first 3 meetings with Orange County. This is, of course, the first against Lincoln. So the Blues, after a 13-inning grind-out battle, fell 5-2, have lost 3 straight, looking to bounce back here tonight. It's Anderson, Maciel, and Villegas. Top of the Blues lineup, and Craig Schmitz on the mound. Anderson for the Blues sends his .294 average to the leadoff spot, and the right-handed batter takes strike 1 from Schmitz. For Craig, it's his 6th start, 8th appearance this season. 0-1. 0-2 now. Last pitched on the 4th against the Crawdads. Pitched an inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs. That was his shortest outing of the season by a lot. Came in relief. 3.33 ERA in 29 2/3 innings pitched. He struck out 23 batters, only 9 walks. Got him swinging. Anderson down on strikes. Here's Maciel. CJ with the average at 210. Sends one out to right. That gets by. Base hit. It got through Caulfield at second. Finds its way into right field. Sends the first pitch into the outfield for a base hit. And it's a single for Maciel. CJ going out and attacking the first pitch there. How about it? Gets himself a hit. And Caulfield, he's letting that arm hang. He laid out to try and make the play over at second base. Again, the ball looked like it was going to get right through the four-hole, find its way into shallow right. Caulfield did everything he did. The ball deflected off of his glove, and he seems to be in a bit of pain, maybe a little bit just uncomfortable with his arm, and the training staff out to take a look at him. Want to make sure that their second baseman's all right. Almost made a heck of a play, but ball got by him, and Maciel finds himself safe at first, so the Blues get their first hit and base runner in the form of the senior at Cal Baptist. Villegas is due up, but right now the matter at hand, the ability of Caulfield to continue in this ball game, looks like he will. Seems to be just fine. Didn't exactly see what could have happened and what could have caused the discomfort. And now there's one out for Villegas. Villegas, a local boy out of Cal Poly, played his college baseball with Tate Samuelson, who's batting sixth today. He swings at the first pitch and pops it up and out of play. .212 average for Colin. This is his 14th game as a Blue. 0-1. Outfielder who can also catch. Takes ball one. Throw over to first, checks on Maciel. He's safe. Throw over to first again. Still safe. Blues have won once in the month of July so far. They've played 6 games. That's high. The only win came on the 3rd when we celebrated Independence Day a day early. 9-1 win over Arroyo Seco. Offense came alive, one of the better performances front to back by the pitching staff. 2-1 on its way, and Villegas looks at it high and inside. Blues have not been losing because of a lack of effort. That's something this coaching staff continues to harp on. Ball 4, and it's a walk to Villegas on 5 pitches. They're on first and second with 1 out for E.J. Kreutzmann. Kreutzmann, the outfielder from Columbia. His bat's heating up. Takes a strike. 4 doubles in his last 4 games. The average going up. The power stroke being shown. The average at 270. Mentioned the 4 doubles. His 14th game as a Blue as well. Him and Villegas. Popped up to the left side. Giving chase is Weissenborn. Makes the catch, and there's 2 out. It'll be up to Tolia. Tolia, the team leader in hits and RBIs. The pitch from Schmitz is high. Blues have lost 3 straight to the Foresters, the Oaks, and the Riptide. Only one of those games was not close, and the loss to the Foresters 11-4. I was back on the 5th. 1-0. Throw to first, and Villegas is safe. Ball 2 is taken. Bottom of the first, still no score, and the Blues trying to change that now in their half. Fouled off, 2-1. Blues losing in 13 innings last night. That was a tough one. Longest game here. Longest game of the season, of course. Second time the Blues have gone into extras. The first time it was Game 2 against a non-league opponent in the Coastal Dodgers, and the Blues would eventually win 8-6 in that one. And the man at the plate here, Zach Tolia, hit the 2-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th with the ghost runner in play. Blues trailed 1-0 to the Riptide until the 7th inning. It was an absolute pitcher's duel for the Blues. Their starter didn't get out of the 2nd inning, and it was the bullpen that carried them all the way up until the end. It was a really heroic performance from the back end of the Blues pen, eating up innings, getting outs, and keeping the Blues in it. Tolia takes ball 3. It was Deacon Naj who got the start. Pitched an inning and a third. Walked back-to-back men who were on first and third. He was pulled, and then Ryan Beard would come in. Beard came in to pitch. First one he threw. Here's 3-1. Ball 4 to Tolia, and they're loaded. Schmitz in a bit of a jam here. He'll have to face Tate Samuelson with the bases loaded and 2 out. Blues have walked twice in the inning and gotten a hit from Maciel. Maciel at third, Villegas at second. Now Tolia at first, and Samuelson stands in. But the first pitch Beard threw was wild. It scored the runner from third. That was the only offense the Riptide would have until extra innings. A high, strike 1. And the extra innings, well, each one of them unique, crazy, chaotic in their own way. We're in the bottom of the first. Tate Samuelson trying to plate the first run for the Blues. He swings through strike 2. Smitch's numbers were really affected on the 23rd when he pitched against the Saints. He actually got the win, but he pitched 4 full, gave up 6 hits and 6 earned runs. That almost got away, and it was a good catch from Stanky to keep it from going to the backstop. Count 1-2. But that's really his one bad start. That's the only start where he's given up more than 1 earned run. This is his 6th. And he gave up 6 earned runs on the 23rd. That's the only thing holding down his numbers this year. Fouled off by Samuelson. Opponents hitting .250 against Smitch this season. That's the only number that continues to gradually increase. But if you take away that start against the Saints, Smitch would have some outstanding numbers. Still does. Popped up by Samuelson. They think they have a play. It'll drop foul. It was a long run for Stanky and Walden, both giving chase. It drops, and we'll do it all over again. The count's still 1-2. And the base is still full of Blues. Great crowd on hand, best of the week. Friday night, 6 o'clock start. Blues and Potters for the first time ever in Sinsheimer Stadium. The pitch fouled off by Samuelson again. Both starters finding themselves in a bit of trouble. Baum was able to get out of the first and put up the 0. Smich trying to do the same. His 1-2 on its way to Samuelson. Popped up, backing out of play. That'll hit the roof of the press box. Good battle going here. 6th batter faced by Smich. Struck out Anderson. Got Kreutzmann to pop up. Thank you, Matt. 8th pitch of the at-bat. It'll be here. Samuelson looked at ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Samuelson pops it up. This one's playable. Right side of the infield. Walden makes the catch. Infield pop up to first, ends the bottom of the first for Samuelson. Blues load the bases but can't play to run. Smich gets out of the jam. We're headed to the second with no score. It's the Blues and Potters for the first time in San Luis Obispo. It's a home and away series that these two teams have had going. And last year the Blues came up to Lincoln twice. And the Potters, as Jim gives me the shout out. Appreciate it, Jim. Oh my gosh, are we going to sing happy birthday right now? Are we doing this? Oh, thanks, Jim. Thank you, Jim. We're taking a break and we're back. Thanks for hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network. Back in 90 seconds for the top of the second.
Baseball season's underway. You'd better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, San Luis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today. We're singing now. Go Blues, go. Go Blues, go. Hey, San Luis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today. Go Blues, go. Go Blues, go. Hey, San Luis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today.
Second inning begins with Ryan Baum delivering ball 1 to Garen Caulfield. One-0 pitch on its way and sent out to right center. It's a fly ball that Anderson and Brooks tracked down. Yeah, both had to range into the right center gap. It was Brooks who turned on the Jets and makes the catch. Loud and long, out number 1. It's Trevor Tishenkel. 1 out, no one on for him in the top of the second. Starts him out with a breaker that misses outside, ball 1. 1-0 now. That missed as well. Didn't get the call. Low in the zone, and the count's 3-0 to Trevor Tishenkel, the Potters left fielder. Tishenkel out of San Diego. There's a strike. A sophomore at Cal. Teammate of Lucas Gaither, who was, you want to talk about a heroic performance, Gaither in those extra innings, tremendous. Fouled off and the count's full. Baum has worked his way back. He was behind 3-0. It's a payoff pitch from Baum. Struck him out swinging. That's the second out and the second K for Ryan Baum. McCarthy stands in for the first time tonight. The right-hander. Foul tips one. Strike one. Baum has retired 4 in a row dating back to the first. Worked around back-to-back singles from David and Stanky. And the Blues bat boy will fetch a fresh baseball for our crew chief. But Baum back to work with the count 0-1. Fires ball one. Thanks, Matt. That was Ryan Baum's 30th pitch. And 31 is fouled off for strike two. Ryan Baum out of Los Altos, California. One-two pitch. Struck him out swinging. Baum leaps off the mound, struts back to the dugout, picks up 2 Ks in the second, and retires the side in order. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Baum's retired 5 in a row. He continues to just be flat out excellent. Just wish he was healthy. Looked healthy. Brooks, Gallegos, and McGuire, the bottom third of the Blues lineup, they're coming to the plate with our score tied at 0s. Game 29 of this Blues season, game 34 for our visitors from NorCal, the Lincoln Potters. Happy to have them in town. The third place team in the North and the last place team in the South doing battle on a Friday evening on the Blues Streaming Network. Happy to have you along with us. We're back for the bottom of the second in 60 seconds. Thanks for hanging out. Bottom of the second, no score. Garrett Brooks leads off for the Blues. He's already made a tremendous catch out in right. Looked like he might collide with the center fielder, Aiden Anderson, but Brooks was the one who made the catch, and that's through the right side for a base hit. He starts with a First pitch swinging single. One man on. No outs for Gallegos. We have to check, but this is probably the lowest that we've seen Chase hit in the lineup. Wouldn't you think, Matt? 8th for the catcher out of UNLV. His first time facing Smitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Oh, and 2 back-to-back breakers find the zone. That was almost a fair ball, but it was fouled by Gallegos. He got the bat out in front of a high pitch and sent it foul down the right field line, and thankfully out of the way of Blues first base coach Steve Tolley. Count 0-2. Throw over to first, and Brooks is still safe. That pitch gets away, and the wild one will allow Brooks to take second base. Count 1-2 now on Gallegos. After he had seen nothing but strikes, a pitch gets away from Smitch, and it's a runner in scoring position for the Blues. Smitch, 1-2. Curveball got him looking, and it buckled him for strike 3. First out. Second strikeout for Smitch. Here comes McGuire. Tonight's game is the 7th straight at home for the Blues. Excuse me, the 8th. 8th straight here at home, and we've still got 2 more. We have really been getting comfy here in the friendly confines of Sinsheimer Stadium. Amazing crowd on hand. Great turnout. We'll have to mix in some crowd shots tonight. Oh, yeah. 0-1 from Smitch. McGuire looks at ball 1. After Sunday's ball game, it will have been 10 straight games here at home in 12 days. And even though there haven't been many wins, we've enjoyed every second of it. Strike 2. Good framing by Stanky. And it gets Smitch ahead on McGuire. Two-strike pitch. High. Connor McGuire, we usually see him over at third for the Blues. He shifts over to the right side of the infield and mans second base. And we've seen a cast of characters at second as well. We've seen Darius Price, we've seen C.J. Maciel, and now Connor McGuire. And when he was still here, Mason Grotto, who could do anything, well, he'd play second base. 2-2 pitch on its way, and McGuire swings through strike 3. Back-to-back Ks get the first 2 outs for Smitch here in the second. Anderson, who was his first strikeout victim, struck him out swinging in the bottom of the first. Anderson stands in to face Smitch for a second time in as many innings. Still no score with no one on and, runner on second and 2 out. Can't forget about Garrett Brooks, who led off this inning with a single. Now Smitch starts Anderson out with ball 1, and Stanky couldn't frame that one well enough to get the call. Tried to bring that glove back into the zone. It's ball 1 taken. Popped up. That's playable. Stanky. Oh my goodness, it's Furry to make a basket underhand catch. Looked like Stanky had that one the whole way. It's Furry coming over from third to make the catch on the pop out to end the inning. To the third we go. Still no score. Both starters putting up zeros through the first 2 innings and both looking sharp. We will see Weisenborn for the first time tonight. He'll stand into the batter's box to lead off the 3rd inning, and it looks like we already have a pitching change for the Blues. It's a new right-hander. Kevin Lyons has been inserted. We'll talk to you about Lyons and what he's done for the Blues this season. We'll see Weisenborn for the first time, and then we'll work our way back to the top of the Potters order in Walden and David. You're watching Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network. I'm Zach Ebrahim. Happy to have you in on a Friday night. Hope you're having as much fun as we are here at the ballpark. Back in 90 seconds for the 3rd. To the 3rd we go with Kevin Lyons inserted for the Blues. And the right-hander out of Chico State. SoCal guy himself from San Diego is Kevin Lyons, and this pitching change is brought to you by First Five of San Luis Obispo County. First Five, one of the many generous sponsors of the Blues. Hey, Matt, did you know that 90% of a child's brain develops in those formative first 5 years? That's why First Five San Luis Obispo County is dedicated to giving children the best possible start in life. And you can learn more at first5slo.org. That's 5, the number, not spelled out. That's laced into left for a base hit. And we'll update our scoreboard and put a man on first as Chase Weisenborn singles to get the 3rd underway for the Potters, their 3rd hit. Now Lyons will face Walden, the team leader in average for the Potters. Well, Kevin Lyons, this is his 11th appearance on the season. Just gave up his 12th hit. 2-1 record, 1.62 ERA. Opening day starter for the Blues. Since then has come out of the pen. He's actually filled in every role that this coaching staff could have asked. He has started opening day. He has closed a couple ball games. And he's come in high-stress innings to get men out, strand runners on, and eat up innings tonight. Runner takes off for second. Weisenborn will have to head back into first as that pitch was fouled off. And the count is 1-2. Excuse me, 0-2. It is 0-2. Walden struck out swinging in the top of the first. That ball in the dirt, throw to second as Weisenborn tries to steal. Ball popped out of Maciel's glove. He will be safe at second with a stolen base. Potters get another runner in scoring position here in the third. It's Weisenborn who led off the inning with a single. Steals second base, and the count's 1-2 to J.T. Walden. Time called here. Gallegos will go have a word with Lyons. Walden with a chance to add on to his RBI total of 13 on the season. He is the team leader in average. In 72 at-bats, he is hitting .403 coming into tonight's contest. Second on the team in hits with 29. He only follows Jeffrey David, who's hitting second tonight. He's got 31. Furry is the team leader in hits with 32. Point is, the Potters have a great offense. 1-2 pitch on its way. Potters started their season 7-0. They started their season with 8 straight games against non-CCL opponents. But nonetheless, it's a 7-0 start. They've been comfortable in the South. Inside and the count's full. 8-10 in the South in the North, where you have to play the defending champion Healdsburg Prune Packers. Similarly, the Blues have to deal with the Santa Barbara Foresters, who have won the South dating back further than we can even track. Our stats go back to 2013, and every year since then they've won it. Ball 4, and a walk issued to Walden. So when you're the Blues and the Potters and you're dealing with teams like the Prune Packers and the Foresters, that record in conference is going to be slanted unless you really beat up on the other teams in the North and South. There's more teams in the South than there are in the North. 6 in the South, and I believe now 5 with the addition of the Sonoma Stompers in the North. Here's Jeffrey David, second on the team in hits, not first. Lyons starts him out with strike 1. Lions 0-1 pitch. Curve in the dirt, 1-1. Ball and a strike to David. Singled in the first. That pitch in the dirt is swung through for strike 2. Got away from Gallegos for a moment as well. Well, it's a Potters offense that is hitting .270 as a team this season. That is against every team they've played, so it's the cumulative average. No matter if they played teams in the North, South, non-conference, .270 average, and they're scoring 7 runs a game. Wait till you hear this number. Grounded foul. They have 94 extra base hits this season. They've played 33 games. They have 60 doubles and 28 home runs. A lot of pop, a lot of power. As a team, 9 hits a game. They've already gotten 3 on pace. 1-2. Struck him out swinging. Lyons gets his first K in the first out of the third. For Kevin, that is his 10th of the season. Here's Chase Stanky. He singled back in the first as well. Doing the catching and batting third. Awaits the first pitch from Lyons. Ball one. One 0, 2-0. Mentioned that the Blues and Potters played the first 3 games of the Blues season up in Lincoln. So that trip up to McBean Stadium, first game of the season for the Blues last year. Everyone was getting to know each other on the bus ride. It was my first season in the CCL, first season with the Blues. I was getting to know everybody, just trying to get acclimated with the process of how is this going to go? Obviously never having been to the stadium before. That's sent out to right, pulled foul. And we were told, all right, 6.5 hour, 7 hour drive, maybe we hit a little traffic, right? Well, we hit more than a little bit of traffic. We hit a lot of traffic going up to a suburb of Sacramento. The Blues were frantically checking their phones and watches and realizing that first pitch was happening in an hour, and we were 30 minutes away from the stadium. Ball 3. And so the thoughts begin to go, well, are we going to postpone first pitch? How do we contact Lincoln? Do we tell our GM Adam Stowe that we won't make it in time? Well, we got there, the Blues did, with about 20 minutes until first pitch. Everyone got changed, no BP, took a couple ground balls. There's a walk issued by Lyons, and they're loaded. So after that, we just said, we're going to go out and play. A bunch of Blues had never met each other before. All of them had, most of them, never met each other before. Obviously, had never played together before. Didn't take BP. Got there 20 minutes before first pitch. That's how the Blues season started last year. They went out and put up 15 runs in a 10-run win against the Potters. That's how their season started. They'd go on to get the series sweep up in Lincoln. Everyone kind of looked at each other and said, I don't know your name yet, but you're pretty good. Hitters and pitchers alike. Quick meeting with pitching coach Ed Gravel and Kevin Lyons along with the infield. After walking Chase Stanky, he'll have to face Trey Furry. Cleanup hitting third baseman who does, in fact, lead the Potters in hits with 32 this year. .330 average, only .330. You yawn at that. Team leader in RBIs with 28. A chance to add on to that here. They're loaded. There's only one out. Lyons begins with a curve in the dirt. Blues and Potters got to get a look at what goes on at McBean Stadium, and the Potters put on quite a show. Great following, great fan base, and they draw. They sell out at their state-of-the-art new facility. Turf infield, 1-0 pitch. Strike one. So the Blues players got to enjoy McBean Stadium before they even got to enjoy Sinsheimer. Starting the season on the road. Then when we came back to Sinsheimer, we said, this isn't half bad. Count 2-1. Two of the best organizations, can say, the two best organizations in the CCL in terms of fan interaction, attendance, fans being drawn, game day operations, fan experience at a game. These are the two teams that do it best. Grounded back and caught by Lions. Throw to first. They get 2 on a double play. Incredible. Lions caught the liner. That was the first out. And then he had to throw over to Tolia at first because Stanky, obviously thinking that that ball was going to at least end up in the infield. He was off the bag. Tolia tapped it. It's a double play to get Lions and the Blues out of the jam. A 1-3 double play. Outstanding. Blues get out of the jam. Lions does it again. Bottom of the third coming up. It'll be the Blues bats trying to plate the first run of the ballgame. We're scoreless. It'll be Maciel, Villegas, and Kreutzmann when we come back. Third inning of work for Craig Schmitz as well. Appreciate you hanging out on the Blue Streaming Network. I'm Zach Ebrahim up here in the press box at Sinsheimer alongside Blue statistician Matt Fernandez. We're back for the bottom of the third in 90 seconds. Bottom of the third, and the Cal Baptist Lancer, C.J. Maciel, who singled in the first, is going to lead off the Blues half of the third, and Schmitz delivers a high breaking ball for ball one. That's popped up. That looks like it's going to drift out of play. And it will. Into the stands and dropping for strike one. So with the count 1-1, Maciel stands back in. Schmitz is 1-1. Breaker finds the zone, 1-2. It's a Blues offense that's still averaging over 6 runs a game even during this slide. Two on its way. And it's full. Blues hitting .236 as a team coming into tonight. The offense was putting up godly numbers. Grounded fair. Swinging bunt. Maciel is going to run it out. It's an infield single, and he's 2 for 2. They're going to say that was foul? Well, the crew chief, was it the first base official that made the call? Oh, it was the crew chief. Okay. Well, Maciel is going to get back into the batter's box and grab the lumber. So we'll do it all over again after what really looked like a swinging bunt that just rolled down the third baseline fair. But it was foul. So Maciel gets another chance here. Struck him out looking. He takes strike 3 for the first out. And the Blues go from runner on first to 1 runner out. And here's Villegas. popped up by Villegas, headed back towards us. Hit the marketing tent for strike one. A lot of kids here just hustling for foul balls. If you win one, you're royalty. That's kind of how it seems. Everyone's following you around because the crowd is going to chase the foul ball down. If you come up with it, you're going to be approached with offers, and there's going to be trade conversations. Hey, I'll trade you that foul ball for my Blues hat, my Blues jersey. Kids get to keep the foul balls here at Sinsheimer Stadium, courtesy of our free foul ball sponsors. If I caught a foul ball and I was approached with a possible trade, I would say, hold on for a second. I'd wait till after the game. I'd get it signed by whoever. I'd get it signed by Tolley. I'd get it signed by Shamela, Maciel. It's Villegas fouling another pitch off. I'd say this is now a signed baseball. All right? Let's bump up the offer. Can we throw in some gift cards? Can we throw in a jersey? You can tell I've thought about this. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Villegas. And it's full. It's a payoff pitch from Smitch, and it's popped up by Villegas to the left side of the infield. Furry makes the catch. 2 gone now. Kreutzmann with no one on and 2 out. Strike one. Kreutzmann swinging away at the first pitch. 0-1. That's laced into center field. Base hit for Kreutzmann. EJ safe at first with a single. 3rd hit for the Blues. Tolia walked in the first. That loaded the bases. And Smitch was able to pop up Tate Samuelson to get out of that jam in the first. Strike one. Blues have gotten a hit in every inning. Both teams have 3 hits. All 3 are singles. All 6, I should say, are singles. Breaker finds the zone. 0-2. Nasty stuff from Smitch. That's that breaking ball that starts on your hip, works its way back into the zone. It's tough stuff. 0-2. Tolia, the first baseman, batting 5th. Takes high. One-two pitch. High again. That time off speed. Tolia, the team leader in walks with 18. 2-2 pitch on its way. Smitch misses outside of the zone and the count's full. The question for Tolia is going to be, is he going to finish with more RBIs or more walks? He's got 20 RBIs. He's got 18 walks. On-base percentage, excellent as well. Payoff on its way. That's laced out to right center. That ball is going to be caught. David makes the catch, and the inning's over. Fly out to center from Tolia. That'll get Smitch out of the 3rd. Puts up another 0. We're tied at 0, and we're headed to the 4th. It's been a fun ball game, though. Kevin Lyons is going to go out for his second inning out of the pen. Dealt with some traffic in the third, but had a nonchalant 1-3 double play. Caught a liner, threw to first with the runner off the bag. That got him out of a jam. And we'll see what he's got for the Potters in the fourth. He'll face Regatz, Caulfield, and Tishenkel. 5, 6, and 7 for the Lincoln Potters of the CCL North. Their first time playing in Sinsheimer Stadium. Back in 90 seconds for the fourth inning. Back in the top of the fourth, and Kevin Lyons starts Reese Regatz out with strike one. Kevin Lyons coming into pitch for Ryan Baum, and Lyons a reliever that can eat up innings, and we saw the Blues pen be successful at that last night. His 0-1 is swung through for strike two, and in the process, as we've been doing, top of the fourth inning, this is a new thing that we've been doing, and we bring in Blues statistician Matt Fernandez, who not only scores the game but keeps tracks of trends with the pitchers and hitters and scouts essentially, and brings us great insight. So we're going to bring Matt in for the fourth, as this one is hit back up into center field for a base hit. Fourth single for the Potters and the first for Regatz. He's safe at first. So Matt, Ryan Baum got the start tonight. He's a guy that under the radar, the numbers say he's the Blues' best pitcher, but injuries are what keep him from going deep in ball games and pitching every 5 days. What do you see from Baum through his first 2 scoreless innings?
Yeah, he was using changeup a lot early on, and usually kind of one thing you don't really see is guys use their off speed a lot or very early. You know, usually kind of want to maybe get fastball mixed in with like maybe a curveball or slider every once in a while, you know. But he kind of was going to that changeup pretty early on, and you know maybe it shows that's just kind of what he wanted to focus on. But like we said, like he's a guy who's even very technical with himself. He knows exactly what he wants. There's a high ball taken right now. But yeah, he's a guy who's really technical. He knows exactly. He has a very strict regimen. You know, we've seen him do right after he's done with his outing, he'll do his own stretches. He has his own thing. He has his own routine.
Yes. He's very aware of what his body is capable of going through.
Definitely.
Double play ball to short. They get 2. 6-4-3. Maciel, McGuire, and Tolia combined to make it look routine on the 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, it's a good changeup right there by Kev. Able to get that guy to, you know, roll it over to CJ over there. That's one thing I do love about Kev. It's just...
Yeah, let's talk about Lions.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy I feel like, you know, good funky stuff. Reminds me a lot of Lucas Gaither.
Really?
Like yeah. Good funky stuff. Little weird. I love the new motion that he's done, you know, from...
That's true, yep.
You know, from the stretch and from the wind-up. You know, he's done a little something different, and I love it. I think it's working well.
Strike one. Yeah, a guy that doesn't necessarily throw very hard, but part of that was because of his mechanics. He had this short, compact delivery. I know you didn't watch him pitch last season, but I can tell you, it looked really different. And now he just whips that arm back, and the fastball might not be, thank you, the fastball might not, you know, touch 90, but it sure looks faster.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then even he has all his his good off-speed stuff to match up with it. And I think other than that, especially with Kev, older guy, a little bit of older guy, kind of,
That's
he's been around.
Sent out to right, and getting under that is Brooks. Makes the catch to end the top of the fourth. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. Lyons puts up a 0 and works around the leadoff single from Regatz. Gets some help from the infield. Maciel, McGuire, and Tolia combine for a 6-4-3. And Tishankel flies out to right. Blue statistician Matt Fernandez joining us for the fourth inning. We're headed to the bottom half of it, and we'll see the Blues bats when we come back. Appreciate you making Blues baseball part of your Friday evening. Wherever you're watching from, whoever you're rooting for, we're happy to have you, and we're back in a minute.
Asked Alyssa if she can bring my food. My mom got it for me.
Bottom of the fourth underway. Tate Samuelson's going to be leading off the inning for the Blues and bring back in Matt Fernandez for the fourth inning. Blue statistician who not only keeps track of stats but keeps track of trends. We've been talking pitching, and real quick we'll talk hitting with the Blues coming to the plate. Specifically Tate Samuelson, a recent graduate of Cal Poly University. Well, we've seen Tate field ground balls at third. It's fun. It's fun to watch. Tate, a naturally gifted third baseman. The bat hasn't been quite as hot as we've seen from Tate in the past as he takes ball one from Craig Schmitz. And Samuelson in his third season with the Blues. This is your first time watching him. What have you seen from Tate?
I mean, one thing I do like about Tate, he battles a lot. I think we've seen him a lot of times.
Laced that one into left for a base hit. How about that? And Samuelson has a leadoff single for the Blues.
Good job right there by Tate.
Go ahead, Matt.
But yeah, Tate's someone that, for me, I like that, hey, regardless of, if he's struggling right now at the bat a little bit, he's still going to take a good amount of time to get out. He's not going to be necessarily an easy out. He's someone that he's going to battle. He's going to spit and spoil, as we like to say. He's going to any ball outside
waste
his zone,
those pitches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything that's kind of near, you're just going to tap it away. And
Sure.
I think that's something he's really good at, especially being a veteran. I think that's very helpful to get, an older guy like that to see a lot of pitches. He's able to see it because then, it helps out the other guys too. You can relay back to them.
Brooks takes ball one. Yeah, you talked about it. I mean, this is a guy who, his time in college is done. And Tate's graduated, and he brings, a presence in the batter's box, and you can see watching him hit that he is an older guy. He's seen pitches, and he can foul them off. 1-0 here. That's on the corner, strike one. It's Garrett Brooks now. He singled back in the second. Brooks shifting over from left to right. When you're like Brooks and you've played the majority of your time in left field, now you shift over to right. I know you and I like him in left. He's had a couple outfield assists that have really wowed us and some great catches. Is there anything with the dimensions of this field where right field there might be some different characteristics if Brooks shifts over there like he has today?
Well, one thing I do notice, right field, I feel it's a little more open. It's a little bit more wider over there. So definitely, they probably definitely trust his range right now. And that that's a compliment to him because like I said, I think he's a good guy who likes to get after balls.
Yeah.
So I think there's no problem. Usually you want a little more arm strength from your right fielder. Swing at that changeup right there. But yeah, usually want a little bit more arm strength out of your right fielder, and I think that's someone they trust him. Usually you've seen him or EJ, which is like another big power guy, big arm, stuff like that. So I think that kind of just shows that they feel they can plug and play him in left or in right, and I think that's a really good compliment to him.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Brooks will foul this one off to stay alive. He's one of those guys that you like to call a dog.
Oh,
It seems like the Blues have a lot of guys like that.
Definitely, and he's just, he's just a grinder too. He's another guy who, hey, if you punch him and he gets knocked down, he's gonna get up and he's gonna keep getting up as much as he can. And I think that's my favorite thing out of any athlete is that tenacity and that willingness to want to make those plays when you need to.
2-2 pitch is inside for ball 3, and he's worked the count full. Matt, when you're the Blues and you're coming off of a near 5-hour game last night, 13 innings in a game that was 1-0 through 7, you tie it. Here's a payoff from Smitch. Hold that thought. It's ball 4, and runners are going to be on first and second with no one out for the Blues, with Chase Gallegos coming to the plate. What can that do to a team? You play 5 hours, the coaches and players are standing for 10. And you have to come back the very next day and play a Potters team that you don't know much about. So what can that do for a team, especially coming off of a long game, 13-inning loss? What does that do to the Blues?
I mean, I feel like for them it's kind of like a clean slate. It's, you've never seen these guys. They're not in our league. It's not really someone where it's like, okay, here we go again. We dropped this game. We win this game.
We've played this team
exactly.
before. Yeah.
But this is a new start. Like, hey, let's go out there, let's just see what we have to do. Brand new team, clean slate, like I said, blank canvas, and I think that's something that, I think our boys really need to kind of get on. We want to get excited. We want to get kind of re-energized to kind of bring back some momentum our way. Like we've talked about, we've taken a little bit of a slide right now, but hey, I think they're more just eager to go out there and win, and why not be a team that we're probably not going to see again, for a little while.
Yeah,
like you said, we haven't played them in a while.
Exactly. We'll play them tomorrow, and then the next time we could possibly see them is back here in the playoffs.
Exactly. And I think they should see it as like a best-case scenario, It's just everyone just ball out, and let's ready to go.
Well, here's Gallegos, and the best chance the Blues have had to play to run is Chase will show bunt and take a strike on the outside corner. Got Gallegos hitting eighth. He's struck out looking so far, so he's 0 for 1, and would not be surprised to see the bunt on. And boy, did we see that a lot in extra innings with the ghost runner on second. It was who could bunt the best, and that ended up being the Riptide. Gallegos shows bunt again and sends this breaking ball to the left side. Tough play from third, but they'll get him by a step. That's the first out. Everyone takes 90 feet. Runners on second and third with 1 out now for McGuire. McGuire 0 for 1, struck out swinging. This is the man that tied the game in the bottom of the 7th with his RBI single that scored Garrett Brooks, who's at second base now, and Tate Samuelson's at third. He led the inning off with a single himself.
For McGuire here, you got to be thinking, try to keep it simple. He's pretty good. Saw a lot of pitches last time, saw a lot of sliders. Kind of go with that same mentality, like thinking, hey, this guy's got a lot of breaking stuff. But you don't want to do too much with it.
He swings through strike 1 here, and it's going to be up to Craig Smitch, as we don't see anyone warming in the Potters bullpen, to get himself out of another jam here. Has yet to have a clean inning, but you still see zeros up on the scoreboard, and he's certainly been doing something right. His 0-1 pitch to McGuire didn't get the call on the corner, and it's 1-1. Still no score, and we're in the bottom of the 4th. Blues and Potters for the first time this season. First of 2 in this mini weekend series. Strike 2. One-two pitch. Ooh, he went around. Yep. Struck him out swinging. McGuire knew it. That's the second out. To the top of the order, and Aiden Anderson, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging and popped up to third. Well, here's a guy, Matt, that is filling a role that the Blues might have not seen him in, but with the injury to Jake Simons, there was a hole in the leadoff spot. Anderson, I think, has filled that role the best out of anyone we've seen tried in the spot, and he's been playing a terrific center field as he takes ball one.
Yeah, and I think also one thing we can attribute is, his offensive success that he's had. He's hitting around 294 right now. I mean,
yes.
Can't really ask much from a guy who came fresh. Met him on our first road trip was when we met him.
That's right.
I don't think you can really ask much more of him.
Pops that one up and out of play. It'll be a souvenir, and the count's 1-1.
One thing I am noticing too is this pitcher likes to quick pitch every once in a while. That's kind of something that I did notice he did with CJ back then after getting those 2 breaking balls back. First 2 breaking balls, maybe caught CJ, not picking up the ball that fast and just fastball right down the middle. And, he's doing it with the slider as well. I'm noticing that too. So I'm really interested to see, especially how our righties are gonna face him and how they're gonna play against him. Ooh, there it is, another slider. See, that one was a little bit more of like a little frisbee, slow slider. Then every once in a while he'll come in with a more darting, more sharper, more firm slider, which is pretty interesting to see.
It's a ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitting center fielder Aiden Anderson. Smitch gets him to foul that one off. Anderson stays alive. Best chance the Blues have had. They've had plenty. Couple walks. Now 4 hits on the evening. Anderson looking to come through.
Yeah, the last pitch again there too. Same thing. Got that one it's almost like a cutter. That's how much more firmer it is, and it doesn't have really a big looping curve, but that one's a little more sharper. So really interesting to see that.
Craig Smitch set, and a 1-2 on its way. Anderson looks at ball 2 high. His 2-strike pitch is swung on and missed.
Yeah, there you go. Another
fouled. Excuse me, fouled off. Wait, what are we calling here? Okay.
Oh yeah,
no.
he's saying he was out.
He was out. Excuse me. Anderson strikes out swinging to end the bottom of the 4th. You were saying that.
Yeah, I was saying there's another one. People would say, oh, it's a little more curveball. That's a little more slurvy. This guy just has a good range of how he's going to throw his slider. So, hopefully the boys can stay in, maybe take a couple, and we'll see if we can work around it.
He's Blues statistician Matt Fernandez. We've been bringing him on in the 4th inning to really tell us what's going on. He analyzes the game like a coach and like a player. His time with Cal Baptist has done him well. Thanks for joining us, Matt. We're headed to the 5th with still no score, and Kevin Lyons will be out to pitch his 3rd inning out of the pen. Still scoreless. Dizzy bat race taking place as well. We're taking a short break, and we'll be back. Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network returns in 90 seconds, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. To the 5th we go. McCarthy leads off for the Potters and takes ball 1 from Kevin Lyons. Two and 0 now. In a ball game that's as even as it could be. Tied at nothing. Both teams with 4 hits. Blues have dipped into their bullpen before the Potters. But Lyons has been putting up zeros as well. That's sent out and caught on a line softly by McGuire at second. There's 1 out. Kevin Lyons from San Diego. Ball 1. The pitch from Lyons. Curve. Strike 1. Bounce to the plate, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Lions behind 3-1. McCarthy hitting .298 coming into tonight. So far, it's Weisenborn now. Strike 2. Chase Weisenborn, he has singled. That came in the 3rd. Counts full against him. He is hitting .246 coming into tonight. That was increased with his single. Here's a payoff pitch from Lyons. Got him looking. Gets the second out on a backwards K. Two gone in the 5th for JT Walden. Thank you, Matt. That was the 40th pitch thrown by Kevin Lyons, who's working his 3rd inning out of the pen. Came in the 3rd, put up a 0. Came in the 4th. In both of Lyons' innings, he's gotten a double play to really help him out. That's the changeup, and that's strike 1. Yeah, you like watching that change. Counts 0-1. This is the first inning Lyons has pitched in where he's gotten the first 2 men out. And he's ahead 0-2 on JT Walden. Struck out in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. And the walk for Walden was his 10th on the season. Chance for hot sauce here, this capacity crowd, Sinsheimer Stadium. Kevin Lyons will set himself at the belt. Will he oblige the chance? 0-2. Curveball, got him looking. And we're going to the bottom of the 5th. Lyons pitches a 1-2-3 scoreless 5th. Strikes out Walden. Got McCarthy to line out. Struck out Weisenborn. And we're going to the 5th. Bottom of the 5th. We've been in the 5th, Zach. All right. It'll be Maciel, Villegas, and Kreutzmann. 2, 3, and 4 for the Blues. How about some crowd shots? I'm going to become a cameraman here. Look at this capacity crowd here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Pan out to show you just a great atmosphere that we're so lucky to come and work in every night. There's no blue score, U score pricing yet. See if that changes in the bottom of the 5th. Back in a minute for the bottom of the 5th. Thanks for hanging out. Maciel leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Blues. He's seen 3 pitches from Craig Smitch, and he's ahead in the count 2-1. Flown out to right. Coming in is McCarthy, and he'll make the catch. In the shade over there, the shadows in right field as the sun begins to set here in San Luis Obispo. It'll be officially down in about 35 minutes. We hear 50 Cent, and that means Colin Villegas is coming to the plate. Flown out to center, and David is there. 2 out. Quickly for Smitch in his 5th inning of work. E.J. Kreutzmann, he is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd. The pitch inside, strike 1. Oh, 1 on its way, and EJ takes inside. Count evens. A big bat that's been heating up, and Bob Miller has inserted the outfielder from Columbia in the leadoff spot for the 2nd straight game, and he's DHing. Taking a break from right field where we've seen him all season. If he's going to play a defensive position, that's in on the hands and hit him. Seems to be just fine. EJ, a former high school quarterback, and he's got that football mentality when he's at the plate, running the bases. He'll probably tell you he didn't feel that one. Hit by a pitch, and it's the first base runner for the Blues in the 5th. Tolia 0 for 1 with a walk. Smitch. Strike 1. Craig Smitch. This is back to what he's been doing a lot this season. Before his relief appearance against the Crawdads on July 4th, he had the start against the Stompers and pitched 5 full, gave up 1 earned run, 6 hits, worked around the traffic, struck out 3 guys, faced 20 batters. It's the second most he faced all year. He has worked around any situation that he's put himself in. Continues to put up the 0. That is ball 1. Strike 2. Good pitch. One-two pitch. High. Now both teams have been close. The Blues loaded the bases in the first, came up empty. They got back-to-back runners on to lead off the fourth, came up empty. They get a hit batter here after Smitch had retired 2 straight, and Tolia grounds this one beyond the reach of Furry at third, and it's a single for Tolia. They're on first and second with 2 out.
At the plate now for the Blues. Number 3, the third baseman, Dave Samuelson.
Samuelson singled in his last at-bat. He got the hit that led off the fourth. Tate Samuelson, a Blues veteran and a Blues legend in his own right. 3 seasons of summer ball in San Luis Obispo for Tate Samuelson. He's back for another. Sent out to left center. That ball carrying well, but will be caught by David. Thought that one might drop in the gap for extra bases, but it's caught by David. Threat put away by the Blues. Smitch puts up another 0 in the 5th. He's gone 5 full. He's given up 5 hits. He's walked a couple batters, 3 to be exact. He's hit 1 as well. Has racked up 6 Ks. He's through 5, and we are still scoreless. What a job from him. Throw some tennis balls here. We are back in 60 seconds. Blues Baseball, Blues Streaming Network. Thanks so much for hanging out. Here's Jeffrey David leading off the 6th inning for the Potters. We're underway as Lions. Oh my gosh, that foul ball almost ended up in here. So close. I backed up. I backed away. Matt, you got me. You don't have your glove in here? Don't need it. I broke the code and flinched at the foul ball headed right towards us. One and one to David. Strike two. Chance for hot sauce here. What a great crowd on hand. Lions set. Is 1-2 pitch. Is grounded to short. Maciel ranges and throws and got him by a step. CJ's fun to watch when he's throwing on the run. Here's Stanky, who's reached twice. He has singled and walked. Lions has retired 6 straight, dating back to the 4th inning. Strike one. Thank you, Matt. Here's the 50th pitch from Lions. It's on the corner and missing for ball one. Off-speed pitch, feathered in there, strike two. One out, no one on. 1-2 pitch to Stanky. Struck him out swinging. There's 2 out. 7 straight retired by Lions. Hey, wherever and however you're joining us, feel free to hop in the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. We love to hear it. Lions first pitch now to Furry. Fouled off, strike one. And if there's a message that you'd rather not relay in the live chat, feel free to tweet at me, ZAKIU247. Feel free to reach out if you don't want to use the live chat. One and one. Furry is 0 for 2. He grounded out to second in the first, and then he lined into that 1-3 double play that Lions ended the 3rd inning with. The play that he just kind of stuck his glove out and the ball ended up in it, and he threw to first and got 2 outs. Counts 2-1 now. Two balls and a strike. Just misses, and the count's 3-1. Good take from Furry. Three-one pitch. Ball 4. Lions had retired 7 straight, and it's a walk, a 2-out walk here in the 6th. Gets Furry on base for the first time, and we'll see Regats with 1 man on and 2 out. He singled to lead off the 4th. Then Caulfield would ground into a 6-4-3 to eliminate that threat. Also flew out to left to end the first inning. First pitch, strike one. Counts 0-1. The pitch, runner takes off. Pitch fouled off for strike two. Chance for hot sauce here in SLO. With every strikeout of an opposing batter, the Blues give away a bottle of Bon Temps Creole Cafe Slow Heat Hot Sauce. It is delicious. Best breakfast in SLO. We have to go again soon. Counts 0-2. Lions to Regats. Misses outside. Just walked Furry. Thanks, Matt. 60 pitches now for Kevin Lyons. His third inning out of the pen. Excuse me, fourth. Fourth inning out of the pen. And he's ahead 1-2 on the Potters DH. Runner takes off again. Swing and a miss. So Lyons struck him out swinging, and that ends the Potters half of the sixth. Works around the 2-out walk. Kevin Lyons has now struck out 5 batters, and he's put up a fourth consecutive 0 in the sixth. What a job by him. Hey, Matthew. How's it going, man? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching from Lincoln. Potter up. Okay, sure. We'll see. Great ball game on hand. No score, and we're headed to the bottom of the sixth. Appreciate you tuning in from wherever. It'll be the bottom third of the Blues lineup. Brooks, Gallegos, and McGuire when we come back. You're watching Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network, and we appreciate you making us part of your Friday evening and your entire 2022 summer. We're back in 90 seconds.
Underway. You'd better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, San Luis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today. We're singing now. Go Blues, go. Go Blues, go. Hey, St. Louis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today. Let's go Blues, go. Pitchers and speed to be the best in the West, indeed. Sinsheimer Park is where they play, so come on down and watch today. We're singing now. Go Blues, go. Go Blues, go. Hey, St. Louis, what do you say? The Blues are gonna win today. Go Blues, go.
Bottom of the sixth underway with Garrett Brooks leading things off for the Blues against the newly inserted right-hander for the Potters. Grounded to second here. And a nice play from Caulfield. And on one pitch, Brooks is retired as he grounds out to second base. 4-3 there. It's Gallegos who's 0 for 2, standing in with no one on and one out. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the sixth. The new pitcher is Nate Kujoski. 6'5", right-hander out of Denver. Attends the University of Evansville, where he's a junior. That's high, ball one. for Nate Kujoski. The ERA at 5.06. This is his 11th appearance. In those, he's pitched 10 2/3 innings. In those innings, he struck out 11 batters. Flown out to center, and David makes the catch. Quickly 2 out on the fly out for Gallegos. He's now 0 for 3. Kujawski last pitched on the 6th against the Crawdads in a relief appearance for him. He pitched an inning and gave up 1 earned run on 3 hits and struck a batter out, faced 8 men. And faces McGuire here. Ball 1 to Connor McGuire, who has struck out swinging in both his plate appearances. 1-0 pitch. That's flown out to right. That'll hang in the air a bit too long, and McCarthy's there to make the catch to end the inning. It's a quick bottom of the 6th, and Blues go down in order. Who will blink first? We're going to the 7th, tied at nothing. Lyons is out for another inning of work, and he will continue the trend of downright heroics being shown by the Blues bullpen. We're headed to the 7th. We'll see Caulfield, Tishenkel, and McCarthy due up for the Lincoln Potters. We're back in 90 seconds for the 7th inning, and we appreciate you hanging out with us on a Friday night. The 7th inning begins with Kevin Lyons delivering strike 1 to Garen Caulfield. Oh, 1. 1-1. Ball and a strike to Caulfield, who has flown out to right and grounded into a 6-4-3. Curve misses in the dirt. Garen Caulfield out of Sacramento. He's a Arizona Wildcat. He's on his way to U of A. He'll be in Tucson in the fall. He's headed there for his first year. Popped up, drifting to the left side, and out of play. Two and two is the count to Caulfield. .214 hitter coming into tonight. This is his 12th game as a Lincoln Potter. Kevin Lyons, his 2-2 pitch. Breaker missed high. And with that, the count's full. Hot sauce wanted on a payoff pitch. Lyons obliges. Strike 3 looking. Got him out. It'll be Tishenko now. With no one on and 1 out. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out swinging in the first and flew out to right in the fourth. Kevin Lyons, ball 1. Well, Lyons is continuing the trend of Blues relievers, and we're talking just a few hours ago. Feels like it. Last night. The Blues bullpen ate up innings and got outs, and 2 guys threw more pitches than they have in over 3 years. Ryan Beard yesterday came in for Deacon Naj in the 2nd inning. Beard pitched 4 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 7 batters, and didn't give up a single run. That's grounded to first. Tolia will flip it to Lyons, who covers the bag for the 2nd out. And it's a 3-1 putout. Then Jared Villalobos came in, pitched 4 full innings, and he pitched into the 10th. He'd eventually give up the only run that the Orange County Riptide had scored since the 2nd inning up until that point. He hit a batter with the bases loaded, but he was still excellent. 4 full innings, 3 pitches, 1 run, unearned, and struck out 4 batters. This is flown out to center field for Aiden Anderson, and he's under it for the 3rd out. We'll talk more about the Blues bullpen, but the Blues bats will be coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Lyons pitches another scoreless inning. We'll get you his updated stat line as well when we come back, because it's excellent. We're going to sing a little Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We're flying along here. Bottom of the 7th coming up. Hope you're having as much fun as we are. Zach Ebrahim alongside Blue statistician Matt Fernandez, PA announcer Jim Siebert. We're in the press box. We're hanging out. We're throwing a party here at Sinsheimer Stadium, and we're happy that you're hanging out with us on YouTube. We'll be back in 90 seconds. Bottom of the 7th, still no score. Aiden Anderson coming in. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He made the catch out in center field that ended the Potters' top of the 7th. First pitch to Anderson is grounded down the 3rd base line. Furry throws it away. Anderson's taken off for 2nd. It's an E5, and he dives in. Reaches 2nd. Well, a costly error from Furry. Throw that just got away. Anderson is the go-ahead run at second base. Maciel stands in. Go-ahead run is at second. Maciel 1 for 3 tonight. He singled in the first, struck out looking in the third, and flew out to right in the fifth. Big spot here. Facing Kujawski, the first reliever deployed by the Potters. He'll step off. Sometimes that's all it takes. One costly mistake by the other team, Blues trying to take advantage. The corners are packed in. Maciel fouls that one off. Strike one. Counts 0-1. Kujawski set. And the pitch. Bunt shown, laid down, Maciel, fielded, throwing, out, and by a step, if that. Well, this is the second time we've seen this. Are you going to tell me they're going to say that's foul again? Well, now I'm just plain confused because this is the second time we've seen this with the same player. It's been Maciel both times. Our scoreboard is covering up Bob Miller's conversation with the crew chief. It's a short one. So Maciel is going to stand back in with the count now 0-2. So the count's 0-2. They're going to say it was foul. Checked his swing, took ball one. Maciel tried to lay down the bunt that he eventually was out on the attempt. But that's not the point. He had advanced Anderson to third. Anderson is back at second base, and the count is 1-2 to the Blues shortstop, C.J. Maciel. 1-2 pitch from Kujawski, flown out to right and drifting foul. Now that was a foul ball. Counts 1-2. Kujawski looks in and gets the sign from Stanky. Now set. 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball two, and the count evens. Count even. Big spot here for CJ, the pitch. Flown out to right center. That'll drop for a base hit. Anderson's at third and Maciel's at first. They've got him cornered with nobody out. You want to talk about a soft liner? That was like a raindrop out in center field. Second hit for Maciel. 2 for 4 with 2 singles. And here's the biggest spot of the game for Colin Villegas. Kujawski. Nasty breaker. Strike one. Villegas is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Throw over to first, checks on Maciel. He's safe. Aiden Anderson, who's at third, reached on a throwing error from third. Trey Furry threw it away and out of play, which means Anderson took 2 bags. Maciel just singled. They're at the corners. Strike 2. Kujawski trying to get out of a jam here in the 7th. Popped up. That's playable for the left side. And in shallow left, Weisenborn makes the catch. It'll be up to Kreutzmann. Quick meeting here between, well, here comes Ryan Stevens to pull Kujawski. We're going to see a pitching change for the Lincoln Potters in the biggest point of this ball game with runners at the corners. There's only one out. Runner at third is Aiden Anderson with speed. Same goes for Maciel over at first. So the Potters are going to go to their third pitcher, second reliever, and we'll introduce you to him on the other end of this break. You're listening to Blues Baseball. It's game 29 on the Blues streaming network. And things are getting very interesting. Bottom of the 7th, no score. We're back in a minute. Thanks for hanging out. E.J. Kreutzmann stands in with runners on the corners. There's only one out in the bottom of the 7th. The Blues have gotten back-to-back men to reach. Anderson reached on a throwing error from third, and Maciel singled to right center. It's up to Kreutzmann to give the Blues their first lead of the day. And time will be called. We'll do it all over again with Trevin Crowley, the 6'1 right-hander out of Newman, California. He's a freshman on his way to Cal State Bakersfield, and he's been inserted into this ball game. Runner takes off for second. Maciel would have been safe, but Kreutzmann fouled the first pitch off, strike one. For Crowley, it's his 6th appearance, a 0 ERA. Excuse me, he's a sophomore at Cal State Bakersfield. Last pitched on July 4th against the Crawdads. He got an out. Hasn't given up a hit or run all season. Being trusted by Ryan Stevens to get the Potters out of this jam here in the bottom of the 7th. Got him swinging away, 0-2. That pitch way off the plate. For Trevin Crowley, big spot here. Crowley set. His 0-2 pitch. Fouled off to the left side. Kreutzmann stays alive. EJ behind 0-2. Crowley set. His 0-2 pitch is grounded to second. Caulfield goes to second. They get 2, but the Blues take a 1-0 lead. Oh, wait, there was one out. The double play ends the inning. I was mistaken. It's a double play to end the inning. 4-6-3. We're going to the 8th. Crowley gets out of the jam. 4-6-3 ends the bottom of the 7th. Tell you what, these pitchers have really gotten some double plays that have gotten out of them some huge jams. We're still scoreless, and we're headed to the 8th. Top of the 8th coming up. Chase Weisenborn's going to lead things off against the newly inserted left-hander Chase Dabbs on for the Blues. Big stress innings going here. We played into the 13th last night. There's no score heading into the 8th. Dabbs warms. Footloose frenzy going on in left field. We are taking a short break. And we are back. Blues Baseball on the Blues streaming network. In 90 seconds, the 8th will resume. Thanks for hanging out. Dabbs delivering ball 1 to Chase Weisenborn, who's 1 for 2 tonight. 1-0, and it's 1-1. Grounded back to Dabbs. Good glove work. Tosses to first, 1 out. So the Blues had one out in the bottom of the 7th and runners at the corners. Colin Villegas had just popped up, and E.J. Kreutzmann grounded into a 4-6-3 that ended the bottom of the 7th. Still tied at nothing. Weisenborn is out, and here comes J.T. Walden now. This is grounded to second. McGuire on to first. Two out. Dabbs a senior out of St. Mary's College of California. He's from Redlands, a 6'2 left-hander. ERA at 9 because of back-to-back struggles against the Foresters and Oaks. Has come out of the pen now 4 times this season. He has started 4 games. He has pitched in relief 4 times, and starts J.T. Walton, the Potters' leader in batting average, out with strike 1, and the 0-1 is outside. Two outs, top 8. Inside, it's actually Jeffrey David at the plate. Walden grounded out to second. I remember now. 2-1 pitch. Or no, 1-1. Now 2-1. That's flown out to right. That's hanging in the air. That's dropping for a base hit. David's second single is blooped into right. 3 Blues converge. No one gets there. David is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. And they get a 2-out base runner for Chase Stanky. Stanky is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Struck out back in the 6th. Dabbs on to pitch in relief. Ball 1. We have also seen Dabbs in every possible role, similar to Kevin Lyons. He has started, eaten up innings out of the pen, and come in and closed the ball game. He's just trying to keep us tied, at 0-0. And the 1-0 pitch on its way. Strike 1. Fooled him on that off-speed pitch in the dirt. Runner at first is Jeffrey David. Hit a bloop single to right in the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back against the netting, 1-2. Dabbs set. His 1-2 pitch. Outside. Hot sauce needed in a time like this. Dabbs comes home. Breaking ball missed high. Ball 3 counts full. Everyone continues to hang on the edge of their seat. It'll be a payoff pitch from the left-hander Chase Dabbs. Ball 4. 2-out walk will bring Trey Furry to the plate. Here comes Ed Gravel, Blues pitching coach, to have a word with Dabbs, who retired the first two. Weisenborn grounded out back to him, and then Walden grounded out to second. He gave up a bloop single to David, and now Stanky works a walk, and it'll be up to Furry with runners on first and second. And 2 out. Scoreless in the top of the 8th. Easily the longest we've gone in a game this season without a run being scored. Last night we were sitting at 1-0 until the bottom of the 7th, and the Blues tied it. And then with as good as the bullpens were for both teams, Orange County and San Luis Obispo, we went into the 10th. And the Riptide would take a 2-1 lead in the top of the 10th with Jared Villalobos hitting a batter with the bases loaded. Riptide took the lead. Then the Blues tied it at 2. They had a runner at third with 2 outs. A ground ball was hit to third. There was a throwing error made by Shane Taylor, and that tied the ball game at 2. We would then play 3 more innings, and in the top of the 13th, the Riptide plated 3 runs against Lucas Gaither, who was just awesome. Up until a couple bloop hits, drove in the winning runs for the Riptide. That's a wild pitch from Dabbs, and everyone's taking 90 feet. That game last night ended close to 11. Thankfully not an early start for tonight's matchup between the Blues and Potters, the first ever in Sinsheimer Stadium. Count is 1-0 after the wild pitch. Furry takes inside again. Strike 1. The 2-1 pitch to Furry is swung on and missed. Here come the fans again. Dabbs has the sign. Runners on second and third. A 2-2 pitch on its way. Fouled off. We'll do it all over again. Chase Dabbs got the first 2 outs in the inning. Back-to-back runners reaching, and a wild pitch have now put him in a precarious situation. His 2-strike pitch is inside and getting away. It's a wild pitch, and the Potters have taken a 1-0 lead. That is exactly how the Riptide scored their first run last night. Wild pitch with a runner on third. It is just crazy how things happen, isn't it, Matt? Day in and day out. So the count's still 2-2. Get that back up. Furry shattered his bat, and he'll get a new one. Heard that up here. Potters lead 1-0 on the wild pitch from Dabbs. The runner at third is Chase Stanky. Trey Furry's at the plate. Jeffrey David scored that go-ahead run. So the way the Riptide scored their first run in the second inning is the way the Potters score the first run of the ball game in the 8th. And Furry takes ball 4. The count was full, and men are at the corners. Back-to-back walks from Dabbs. And they'll have to pitch to Reese Regatz. Here comes Bob Miller to make a pitching change first. It'll be Eric Kubitowicz. Kubitowicz has taken over in the 8th. Blues have surrendered the lead on a wild pitch with a runner at third. 1-0 Potters. We're back in a minute to conclude the 8th inning. Reese Regatz is in. Runners at the corners again, but it's Eric Kubitowicz in to pitch, the right-hander out of Illinois State. Affectionately, we call him Kubi. Ball one, and with no throw, Furry steals second base. A pinch hitter. All right. It is Drew Stahl, returning Potter. Pinch hitting for Reese Regatz. And the 1-0 from Kubitowicz is in there for a strike to even the count. Well, we haven't seen Kubi since the first of the month when he pitched an inning against the Oaks and got hit around a bit. 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and it was his worst outing as a Blue. 5.62 ERA. But still a talented back-end bullpen arm for Bob Miller's Blues. Ball and a strike to Stahl, who's pinch hitting for Regatz. That's low. One nothing Potters. Chase Dabbs threw a wild pitch with a runner on third. 2-1. Ball 3 got away from Gallegos for a second. He'll track it down. Runners are on second and third after Furry stole second base without a throw. Three 1 on its way. They'll say he did not go around, and it's ball 4. They're loaded with 2 out for Garen Caulfield. 3 straight walks from Blues pitching. They had 2 outs with no one on in the 8th. So Kuby will be forced to face Caulfield in a 1-0 ball game in the 8th. And the pitch starts him out with strike 1. Wild pitch. 2-0 Potters. Count 2-0 to Caulfield. Both runs have scored with wild pitches, runners at third. That's flown out to right. Brooks giving chase. Anderson now. No one saw it. 2 runs are in. 2 RBI double from Garen Caulfield. Makes it 4-0 Potters. Neither of them saw it, Brooks nor Anderson. We were wondering why Anderson charged in that far from center field. It's because Brooks couldn't find the ball. Drops for a double. Caulfield brings in 2. He's safe at second now. Potters have opened it up, 4-0 Lincoln. All 4 runs have scored in the inning. All 4 runs have scored with 2 outs. And it's Kubitowicz to face Tishenkel. Ball 1. That's hit softly to first. Kuby covers the bag, inning over. 3-1 putout retires Tishenkel. After the first 2 men were out, the Potters brought 6 consecutive batters to the plate. They plated 4 runs, 2 on wild pitches with runners on third, and a 2 RBI double from Garen Caulfield. It was essentially a soft flyout to right. Garrett Brooks lost the ball in the lights. That's prone to happen here at Sinsheimer. Aiden Anderson saw it for a moment, ran as far from center to right center as he could, and it dropped in the gap for a 2 RBI double. And we stand at 4-0 Potters. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th with the Blues bats coming to the plate. Tolia, Samuelson, and Brooks due up. 4-0 Lincoln. And we are back in 90 seconds. Bottom of the 8th, 4-0 Potters. Played it all 4 in the top half of the 8th. Tolia leads off against Crowley. Swing and a miss. Crowley, who got out of the jam in the 7th that the Blues put him in. Now trailing 4-0. This game was 0-0 heading into the 8th. 1-1. Crowley again, a sophomore out of Cal State Bakersfield. 0 ERA. Has not allowed a hit all season through 6 appearances, and it's not allowed a run. Tall task for the Blues with the talented reliever on. High. Two balls and a strike. Tolia lines this one to short. Played on a hop. Weisenborn throws him out. 6-3 goes Tolia, and here's Tate Samuelson. Samuelson 1 for 3, singled in the 4th. Softly grounded foul. Count 0-1 to Tate Samuelson. 1 out, no one on. Bottom of the 8th. The Blues are 0 for 12 with runners on base. 0-2. Now, why is that significant? Well, not only do they have a 0, but the last time they went 0 for 12 with runners on base was when they got no hit against Orange County on June 29th. It's going to be a tall task here against the talented reliever Trevin Crowley of the Potters. Lincoln looking for their 21st win of the season. Breaker misses. They've had their opportunities. There's no question about it. 4-6-3 from Kreutzmann ended the 7th. Crowley got him to ground into that. Flown out to right, foul. Blues have not lost 4 straight all season. That in jeopardy here with 5 outs to go. The count's 1-2, and Crowley comes home. Samuelson stays alive again. Talked about it with Blue statistician Matt Fernandez. Tate Samuelson's ability to stay alive in these types of at-bats, waste pitches, foul him off, stay alive and wait on the one he wants to see. So with the count 1-2, Samuelson takes ball 2. Grounded. Fair to third. Furry throws him out. Two gone for Garrett Brooks.
And batting for the Blues from the University of Texas in San Antonio, it's Garrett Brooks.
Fouled off, strike one. That pitch got away, and the count even to Brooks. Garrett's 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the second and walked in the fourth. Blues made their first ever trip up to McBean Stadium in Lincoln last summer. Played their first 3 games there and then played in the first ever CCL State Playoffs tournament of its kind in McBean Stadium. And when we say of its kind, we mean with a loser's bracket. You lose your first playoff game, you're in the loser's bracket. You can still win your way out of that bracket and into the championship game. The playoff tournament will be held here at Sinsheimer Stadium beginning August 4th, as it did last year. 4th, 5th, and 6th of August. All the action here in San Luis Obispo, right in the center of California. So with the tournament being here in the Central Coast, Potters could see themselves making 2 trips to Sinsheimer this season. Count full to Brooks. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. We're going to the 9th. 4-0 Lincoln. First step for the Blues is to put up a 0 in this inning and see if they can rally in the bottom half. It'll be Kubitawitz to face McCarthy, Weisenborn, and Walden. For the Lincoln Potters, 3rd place team in the North. They are looking for a non-conference win. They're looking for their 21st win of the season, and they're looking for their 5th win on the road. Stay tuned. 1 more inning to go. We'll see if they can get it. Appreciate you making Blues baseball part of your Friday evening. We are back in 90 seconds with the 9th inning. The 9th begins with McCarthy fouling off the first pitch from Kubitawitz for strike 1. Underway in the final frame, 4-0 Potters. They got all those runs in the 8th. 0-2 now. Back-to-back fastballs from Kubi. Struck him out swinging. Actually fouled off. McCarthy stays alive. Now he struck him out swinging on a high fastball. McCarthy 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. There's Chase Weisenborn. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the third. Kuby fouled off. One and one. That pitch got away. Ball 2.
Time with you. I hope you enjoy your visit here to San Luis Obispo tomorrow.
Kubitowicz. Strike 2. Got the call on the corner. Good pitch from Kuby there. He's going to be one of those late inning guys for the Blues. Game's tight. You put him in. Haven't seen Kuby in a week. Ball 3. .6'3" right-hander, senior out of Illinois State. He's from Oakdale, Minnesota. His 5th game as a Blue. Struck him out swinging. Got him on a payoff pitch. 2 gone for Walden in the 9th. Potter's last chance to tack on any insurance. Up by a grand slam. Walden, an uncharacteristic 0 for 3 evening for him. He's walked. That's the only time he's reached. Fouled off, 0-1. A 1 on its way. That gets away. Well, on nights like these, we can reminisce on July 8th of last year. Blues had actually lost 3 straight going into a ball game against the Orange County Riptide. Their only 3-game losing streak of the season. And the way they'd snap out of it was by trailing 6-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Riptide had also beaten them in the previous 2 meetings. So the Blues had yet to beat Orange County. This was actually the only time they beat Orange County, with 2 runners on and down by a run in the bottom of the 9th. It was Justin Trimble on his way to UC Santa Barbara. He had not played in college yet. He was pinch hitting. He finished a hot dog in the dugout, picked up his bat, and hit a 2 RBI walk-off double for the Blues to snap the losing streak, to get them their first win over Orange County, and to really spark some momentum back into a ball club that would go on to finish in 2nd place in the South. 28-18 last season were the Blues. That's sent out to center field for a base hit. And it's a 2-out single for Walden, his first of the evening. It was one of those wins that really sparked a winning streak and showed the team that they could come back from anything, beat a team that they had struggled against. In 2 games, they only put up 3 runs against Orange County Riptide. Came back and won it in the 9th. Taller task here tonight. Strike one. Sent out to left. That ball is going to be caught by Villegas. Just got under that one. David flies out to left. That does it for the Potters' half of the ninth. It's the final frame, bottom of the ninth. It'll be Gallegos and McGuire and Anderson for the Blues, barring pinch hitters. Behind by a grand slam. We'll see what they've got. We'll see if they can pull off the miracle. Down 4-0 in the bottom of the eighth. We'll be back. Blues baseball on the Blues streaming network. Keep those fingers crossed. We're in the bottom of the ninth. Blues lost a heartbreaker in 13 innings to the Orange County Riptide. That game was something else. Blues ended up losing 5-2. They've lost 3 straight. And the only way to stop it from being 4 straight is to come back from a 4-0 deficit against Trevin Crowley, who, if I'm not mistaken, is in line for the win. Popped up by Gallegos to the right side. That ball is caught by Walden for the first out. 1 pitch and 1 out. Crowley has not allowed a hit or run this season. We'll just tell you one more time. And here's McGuire. No 1 on and 1 out for McGuire. These two teams will be back. Come hang out. First pitch shortly after 4 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be hanging out again at Sinsheimer Stadium. We'll see these two teams hopefully play another thrilling ball game. This one came down to a rough 8th inning for the Blues. Popped up by McGuire to center field. Coming in is David, but it'll be caught by Caulfield. 2 pitches, 2 outs. So they're down to their final out, and it's Aiden Anderson. Pop out to first, pop out to second, both on the first pitch. And Anderson, who reached on an error in the 7th, this is when we were tied at 0s. He got to third as Maciel singled. Did not score. Villegas popped out, and Kreutzmann grounded into a 4-6-3. That was arguably the Blues' best chance. Anderson takes a strike. Trevin Crowley continuing his great season, high and inside. Looking for a win here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Potters looking to win their first ever game here played in San Luis Obispo. Ball and a strike. Outside, ball 2. If this one goes final, stay tuned for the postgame show. Blues Live will have an intern interview. Stay tuned for that. 2 outs, and it's up to Aiden Anderson. He'll ground this one to third. Furry threw him out. Did he just do a backflip or a front flip? All right, that was something. The final 4-0. The Potters get all their runs in the top of the 8th. Here's how they scored. A wild pitch with a runner on third. Then another wild pitch with a runner on third. And then Garrett Brooks and Aiden Anderson got crossed up and lost a fly ball in the lights, and it dropped in right field for a 2 RBI double. The Potters ride that 8th inning to a 4-0 win. They're 21st of the season. They're 9th in the North. They're 7th in their last 10 games, and they are now 5-8 away from historic McBean Stadium. What a game it was, though. It was thrilling up until that 8th when the wheels fell off for the Blues. It's now 4 straight losses for the Blues. They go to 11-18, and they remain in last place in the CCL South. Potters prevail 4-0 in the first ever game played between these two teams in Sinsheimer Stadium. Taking a short break, and we're back. Post-game show, Blues Live. We're going to have an intern interview for you. Stick around for that. Those are always fun. And we will be back tomorrow. First pitch shortly after 4 o'clock Pacific time. I'll step aside for a moment and be back with you for the post-game show. Thanks for hanging out this evening. I've been Zach Ibrahim for the entire Blues organization. So long and good night. back inside the press box. 4-0 the final. Potters win the first ever meeting between the Blues and Lincoln Potters here at Sinsheimer Stadium. So, with the loss, that means that we get to do an interview. And Sophia Farino, our director of social media, is kind enough to join us. So, Sophia, I always like to start these by asking, how'd you find out about the Blues? Really, how'd you end up here? So I'm just curious and would love to hear, how'd you find out about the Blues and this specific position that you're in today?
Absolutely, yeah. So I knew I was going to be home for the summer. I went to high school here, and my mom worked with the former assistant GM's mom. And so she sent me a link when I was back at school in Michigan. She's like, hey, you might be interested in this, at home, working in sports. Kind of doesn't get any better than that. So I saw sports information directors of the media, which I would love to be a sports information director for a team one day. That's kind of my goal. And so I applied, had a good conversation with Nico, and it worked out.
Good conversation with Nico?
Very long conversation with Nico.
It's not hard to have
a
long, easy conversation.
We're talking
with
about
him.
sports for about an hour, so it's kind of worked out. Yeah.
Sometimes we talk about nothing.
Yeah, true.
No, we love Nico. We kid here. So, you're usually hanging out with us up here in the press box, or you're running around the dugout, and you're having to deal with all those guys, and you're trying to get them to do something and provide some content.
Yes.
You're constantly cranking it out. Sometimes we wonder how you do it. But what does your job specifically entail? Tell us about that.
So I'm mainly running our Instagram. We started when I got here a little less than 3,000 followers. We're now, last time I checked, like 20 minutes ago, 3,597.
There we go.
So it's a good steady growth, upward growth. And
yeah.
so during game, it's a lot of story content because that's more like in the moment. You can get that out faster for people who are not here or people that are here. And then I work really closely with JD, our super talented photographer, to get really good photos for the posts and all our marketing stuff. I'm doing a lot of graphics, which is like something I'm new at, but I'm really liking it.
Okay, good.
So yeah, we're learning by error, we're learning by trial, I guess. So like for the Jersey night, made a cool graphic for that, get it out, and then just posting every day, reminding people there's a game. Try. It's kind of hard. You never know when someone's gonna hit a home run, but you do your best to
Right.
get a video of it or whatever. But yeah, a lot of story posts, a lot of grid posts. But yeah, I'm loving it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you talked to us before, or talked to me before we went on, and you said you eventually would like to be a PR director for a team.
Yeah.
Any specific sport?
Preferably football.
Because it's in the family.
It's in the family.
Okay.
Daughter of a Division I football coach.
There
Went
you
to
go.
my first game at 10 days old. Kind of all I know.
Wow. Wow.
But I do love baseball, but it would be between baseball, football, and basketball. Those
There
are
you
my
go.
top three.
Yeah, the big three.
Big three.
I'm kind of right there with you.
Yeah. So I love it.
So you go to Michigan.
I do.
Right, you're going into your second year at
Just
Michigan.
finished my first year.
So tell us about Ann Arbor and what your sports management major entails at Michigan. I know you've just finished your first year, but what are you expecting that program to provide you
Yeah,
with?
absolutely. Well, Ann Arbor's great. I don't know if you've ever been. Anyone?
I haven't. I'm going to make the trip.
Yeah, you
there.
have to. It's awesome. I lived there for 3 years when I was younger when my dad was coaching out there, and I knew I wanted to go back. So I got really fortunate enough to go there for school. But, I'm a sport management major. We have 2 different tracks at Michigan. You can either go the marketing management route or the analytics policy route. I'm going marketing management. And that kind of just, but you get to take classes in both sides of it, so you kind of get the whole experience of it. But right now I'm interning with the football team out there and on-campus recruiting, and I absolutely love it. That's kind of something I got on my own, I guess, not required through my program. But, yeah, that's setting me up, I think, in the right direction. I absolutely love it. So, yeah, I'm expecting a lot more of that. I think I'm going to do it all 4 years. It's a lot of work, big job, but I absolutely love it. So, yeah, it's been good.
There you go.
Yeah,
thanks
been good.
Thank you so much for doing this.
No,
Sophia.
absolutely. And happy birthday, Zach. That's the next thing we're about to post on the story, that it's Zach's birthday.
Thank you.
Our amazing, amazing announcer. So make sure you wish Zach a happy birthday.
You're too kind. Sophia Farino, Director of Social Media, joining us on the postgame show, Blues Live. Another intern interview for a second straight night. Thank you so much for doing this,
Thank
Sophia.
you.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. First pitch shortly after 4 o'clock. Be here. Be in the stadium. Blues Streaming Network. We got you covered. Every pitch. Sophia will post some great content, and we'll hope you'll tune in. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Good night, everybody.
Go Blues.